What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here. So, I woke up this morning, asked why on earth people hate things just because they're popular. You know, just one of those random first thing in the morning thoughts, and decided I wanted to make a video on that. So, that's what I'm doing. No script, no thinking ahead, I just woke up and hit record. So if this video seems a bit all over the place and unfocused, please forgive me, I'll try my best to stay on topic. But anyways, I've been wondering this for a while. Why on earth do people get so angry at popular things for the simple fact that they're just popular? I likely would have had the answer to this question several years ago because I used to be that way, but it has been quite a while though, so I've likely forgotten. To be truthful, I don't think there's a singular definitive answer. There's tons of possible reasons people could have for blindly hating popular things. So why don't we explore a couple of those possibilities, and at the end I can share some of my experiences with popular stuff, and maybe give some examples of how it can be fun to join the crowd sometimes. By the way, the specific things I'm referring to are games, popular games. I don't know why I keep saying popular things. I guess it could work for music and movies and stuff too, but I mostly mean games. Anyways, let's begin. The biggest and most obvious reason people seem to have for this hatred are the fan bases of these popular games. You know, the weird FNAF fan art, the cringy Fortnite dances, and the shoving it down your throat of the Undertale fans. Sometimes the oversaturating, overly defensive, and overall loud voices of these fandoms can rub people the wrong way. And that's completely understandable, but also completely unavoidable. No fanbase is free from these terrible fans. They're in there somewhere no matter which game it is. They're even in the fanbase of your favorite game, ooh! So if you're avoiding a game purely based on what you've heard or seen from its fandom, here are a couple of other counterpoints. One is that oftentimes, not always, but often, these toxic fanbases are over-exaggerated. Take Call of Duty for example. When the series was in its prime, outsiders hated it and its fanbase, saying they were buying the same game every year and calling them overly angry aggro gamers. Those super old rage compilations on YouTube being the basis for their stance. But to be completely honest, I've never encountered one of those toxic lobbies when playing Call of Duty. Not even once, and I've been playing pretty consistently since the original Modern Warfare. I've dropped off the series in recent years because the file sizes for these games are just ridiculous, but over a decade and a half of experience and not encountering one of these instances once? It's a pretty big sign that things are not like what you've been told. Now, these toxic lobbies definitely do exist, there's literally video proof, but it's nowhere near unavoidable. So don't let what you hear or see from these toxic fan bases keep you from enjoying a popular game, because oftentimes they're over-exaggerated, and even when they're not, they don't represent the games themselves. Especially when it comes to these single-player popular games like Undertale. It's a shame that so many people miss out on a genuinely charming and fun experience solely because of the terrible fanbase, when you don't even have to interact with the fanbase while playing the game. So, these terrible fanbases for games are often over-exaggerated, and even when they're not, they don't represent the games themselves, so give them a try no matter what you hear. Another reason for this popular game hatred could stem from competition, wanting to defend your favorite thing from being compared to the new thing. For instance, in the lead up to Overwatch's release, the comparisons to Team Fortress 2 were endless. It was just completely unavoidable, and as such, a lot of Team Fortress 2 players ended up hating Overwatch before it even came out. Yes, while in the case of Overwatch, this hate is definitely deserved, Blizzard, yikes. It doesn't change the fact that a lot of the initial hate had nothing to do with the game itself, and rather its comparisons to Team Fortress 2. But let's now gaze upon an example where the hate isn't deserved, Genshin Impact. When this game first came out and blew up instantly, I avoided it because I just kept hearing it was a cheap knockoff of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Some people were saying it was even better, but I didn't need it. I already had Zelda, an open-world anime game where you collect and harvest a ton of stuff. I didn't need another one. I didn't need to pour tons more hours into another one of these gigantic games. And 2 years later, oh well. I'm playing it now, and I gotta say, I regret not doing it sooner. Is it better than Breath of the Wild though? No. But is Breath of the Wild better than Genshin? Also no. They're both gigantic open-world anime games where you scavenge stuff to make yourself stronger, but they have completely different game feels to me. One is a single-player game with a fully completed story that you have access to the moment you turn on the game. The other one is a multiplayer live service game with a much bigger story that's not yet complete and gets added onto with updates. Believe it or not, but you don't have to pick sides. You can like both of these games. I do. I like them both equally for different reasons each. So if you're still holding a grudge towards Genshin Impact for all that Breath of the Wild stuff, I advise just letting it go. I think you're missing out and denying yourself of a fun experience. And speaking of missing out, the last reason I can think of for all this popular game hate is the feeling that you already have missed out. Feeling like the hype train is already passed and you're gonna have no one to gush about the game with, not wanting to admit you are wrong, and so on and so on. Now yes, there are times where you do give the popular thing a chance, and it turns out that you were right the whole time. It was nothing special to you and it was only decent at best. I can't believe I wasted a gift card on Persona 5. But there's no guarantee it's always gonna go that way. A lot of the time you really are missing out on something you would have really enjoyed. You'll never truly know until you give it a shot, so look for opportunities where you can afford to try. Genshin is free, by the way, just saying. I caught up with 2 years of updates in just a couple months, so it's not too late either. So, overall, fan bases, no matter how toxic, never truly represent what they're a fan of. Comparisons made to your favorite game, no matter how insulting, will never truly define the popular games. And your pride of being right or not being late to the party isn't worth missing out on a fun experience that you'll genuinely enjoy and treasure. Life is too short to put all these games off. Fall Guys, Among Us, Minecraft, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, and Undertale, most of which I judged very harshly before even trying them out for myself, have all given me loads of treasured memories, either just playing them alone in my free time or playing them with friends. But let me know what you guys think. What are some popular and trendy games that you're hesitant on trying out right now, and why? Or what are some popular games you turned out to be completely wrong about and ended up loving? I'll be sure to read all your answers in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Leopold the Brave, out.